Tonight, the mayor says the trucks are coming.
Like, how are people going to get loads of trash like this to Trail Road?
Garbage piling up as some 4,500 households deal with debris pulled from flooded basements in the aftermath of the Canada Day storm. Today's the day. Back to the office 4 days a week.
Super discouraging, super frustrating. Nobody's listening.
For most, but not all, public servants. And pulling out of the parade.
When a school board makes a decision to stop engaging with the local LGBTQ community, that erodes trust.
The OCDSB says it will not participate in the August 30th Capitol Pride Parade this year because it happens outside of the school year. Good evening. We begin tonight with the latest on the cleanup efforts in the neighborhoods hit hardest in last week's record rainstorm. Garbage is piling up on residential streets, and homeowners are looking to the city for help as they struggle to get through to their insurance providers. CTV's Dylan Dyson spent the day in the Crystal Beach neighborhood and joins us now with more. Dylan.
Patricia, the word unprecedented has been used plenty to describe the storm that hit the region last Wednesday. The city says nearly 4,500 homes were affected by flooding following that heavy rain, more than double the amount of homes impacted by record river flooding in 2019. Now residents are calling for a disaster response that matches that unprecedented nature.
A lot of memories, a lot of history. It's gone. Yeah, I'm just trying not to think about it because it's hard.
With his family's life laid out at the curb after his home was flooded, Gord McGregor is trying to save what he can.
Separating what to keep, what to throw out. This is the throw out pile. So, yeah, that's where we're at now. So the water level was like right here. So about 3 feet of water in the basement.
He's one of hundreds of homeowners in the Crystal Beach neighborhood who have had to tear out their basements following the Canada Day flash floods.
The insurance company, from the restoration companies, I feel like they're all overwhelmed. I wish there was more help.
The community needs help. What should be happening is they should be bringing dumpsters in.
Fellow Crystal Beach resident Keith Chadwick says Ottawa's mayor and the city haven't done enough to support his community.
We are on day 5. And you've gone to soccer matches and farmers markets and all fun stuff. Meanwhile, there are several thousand people whose homes have been destroyed, and you haven't even shown up.
On Monday, the city announced new measures to help affected residents, including compensation and rolling out continuous garbage collection in impacted areas.
We're working around the clock to support you and to speed up recovery in every way we can.
Mayor Mark Sutcliffe says residents will also be able to apply for emergency funding through the province's Disaster Recovery Assistance Program, which provides up to $250,000 after insurance coverage.
The Premier and his team have confirmed that they will support our recovery efforts. I've since spoken to Minister Jill Dunlop and Minister Rob Flack, and we're working together to ensure that affected residents will be able to apply for the Disaster Recovery Assistance for Ontarians program.
But in the meantime, residents are looking for more immediate support.
There's a lot of other seniors in the neighborhood too that if they don't have family to come and help, they're just sitting and waiting. And the situation is getting worse and worse.
Residents can also apply for the city's Compassionate Grant Program. Eligible homeowners could receive $1,000. The city is boosting funding to ensure there is enough money for everyone in need. Sutcliffe also says staff are undertaking a full review of the circumstances that led to this extreme event and will make recommendations to improve city infrastructure. Patricia.
Certainly not the way people envision getting their summer underway, Dylan. That's wild, those pictures. Thank you very much for this tonight. CTV's Dylan Dyson reporting live for us. Meantime, Ben Franklin Place, including the Service Centre and the Centrepoint Library branch, still closed after last week's storm. The extent of the damage is not clear, but the building was flooded. There's no timeline for when it could reopen. We have extended coverage of the storm cleanup happening across the city, including what residents need to know if their basements were flooded and what compensation they could be eligible for. You can find those details on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. Well, public servants are now spending more time in the office. As of today, all employees in the core public service are required to work in person a minimum of 4 days a week. But the new mandate is sparking backlash and questions about whether departments have enough space. CTV's Kimberly Johnson was out speaking with federal employees today and has more for us. Kimberly?
Patricia, the government says that this in-office mandate is a great way to boost productivity and there is enough space for everyone. But many employees say that isn't the reality for them.
Personally, I don't think there's a need for it.
Sydney Campbell now has to spend more of her week in her car, commuting to and from work. That's because federal public servants now have to be in the office at least 4 days a week, up from 3.
I don't have any in-person meetings. A lot of the people that I work with are, in the Thunder Bay area, or they have accommodations to be at home. So I'm coming into the office to do basically what I would do at home.
The Rideau Lakes resident has a 1.5-hour commute to her office at Tunney's Pasture. She wakes up at 4:30 in the morning to arrive for 7, hoping to avoid traffic and parking headaches.
Super discouraging, super frustrating. Nobody's listening to us. Nobody cares.
The new office mandate came into effect on Monday, sparking a union protest.
Who this is for? Is it worth having traffic jams? Is it worth having higher emissions? Is it worth people just fighting tooth and nail for parking space unnecessarily just to make themselves less productive?
The government says that it will help increase performance and support in-office collaboration and culture.
We need to bring people back to deliver service to Canadians and at the same time do that in a way that would allow people to provide those services in the most efficient way for Canadians.
There are some exceptions. 3 federal departments are delaying the return due to a lack of space: Global Affairs, Statistics Canada, and Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada.
I'm not a fan. I'd rather keep it at 3. But I get it.
Most departments say they are equipped to handle the new office mandate, but some employees say that's not the case.
There's room in the building if you want to sit on a stool that has no ergonomic support in the middle of a kitchen, but I can't do that and do my job for the whole day.
As employees head back to the office more frequently, most of them will have assigned desks. The federal government says that it's moving away from unassigned seating. Patricia?
All right, CTV's Kimberly Johnson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, the Ottawa Carleton District School Board says it will not be participating in this year's Pride Parade. That decision getting some pushback from former school board trustees who say the school board's reasoning doesn't add up. CTV's Austin Lee joins us live in studio with the latest on this. Austin.
Yeah, Patricia, the OCDSB, Ottawa's largest school board, says the decision not to participate in the Pride Parade this summer is because it's happening outside the school year on August 30th, the first day of classes for the school board on September 1st. Now, some of those once elected to the school board who no longer have any say in these decisions are now questioning the reasoning behind this decision. They say the parade has always fallen outside the school year, yet the school board has participated since 2011, adding this decision will put LGBTQ2S+ students and staff in a difficult position.
When a school board makes a decision to stop engaging with the local LGBTQ community, that erodes trust. It makes members of the community feel like the school board doesn't have their back. And so you're going to end up with the community not feeling that trust in years to come.
A spokesperson for the OCDSB tells CTV News during the month of June, the school board recognizes Pride Month in its schools, which is about education, celebrating diversity and fostering inclusive spaces that prevent bullying, homophobia, biphobia and transphobia. That spokesperson went on to say the City of Ottawa recognizes Pride Month during August with public events that are planned for the last week of the month, but these events do not fall in line within the school year for students and staff. Patricia.
All right, CTV's Austin Lee live for us tonight. Thank you. Still ahead, strawberry fields, but not forever as the shift to raspberries begins. How to get your seasonal fix. That story coming up. Well, it looks nice out there in the fields and beautiful day everywhere in Ottawa today as we take a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. 28 degrees out there right now in the middle of a hot week, but fortunately a couple of dry days as CTV's Jackie Perez is taking it all in from the balcony tonight and joins us with a check of the forecast. Jackie.
Well, that's right, Patricia. We are hanging out today on the Capital Barbecue patio, and here is a live look at your weather. It is sunny. It is hot. You definitely want to have the sunscreen going, and we are anticipating anticipating clear skies into the overnight and another sunny day for tomorrow. Temperature-wise across Eastern Ontario, very similar to what we are seeing here in Ottawa, 28 degrees, but factor in that humidity, feeling closer to 32. It's 27 in Trenton with humidex values at 35, and looking at Montreal, it's about 30 degrees, so they are slightly warmer than we are here in the capital. Taking a look at our overnight lows, did mention those clear skies, not much in terms of cloud cover or precipitation. 17 degrees is the overnight temperature for our lows, but our daytime highs tomorrow will be 29 degrees. It will feel closer to 35, so again, will be another hot, humid day in the capital. We've got easterly winds calmly moving through the region. And take a look at our conditions for Monday into the evening. There might be a little bit of cloud cover along the seaway between Kingston to Cornwall, but this should be clearing up by the time we get to Tuesday morning. Yes, lots of sunshine in store, and will stay this way until Wednesday rolls around. The thing is, though, by the time Wednesday evening into Thursday, we could anticipate more rain moving through. We'll have those details for you and more in just a bit. Patricia.
All right, thank you, Jackie. Well, a downed power line caused outages across the city this morning, leaving thousands of people in the dark. The outages began just after 7:30 a.m. and impacted areas from the Ottawa River south to Manotick, including several parts of Nepean, Bell's Corners, Stittsville, Dunrobin, Carp, and parts of Kanata and Barhaven. More than 30,000 Hydro Ottawa customers were affected. Power was largely restored by 9 a.m. The Ottawa Police Guns and Gangs Unit is investigating a weekend shooting. It happened in the 1600 block of Maryville Road around 7:20 Saturday night. Police say there was an altercation between two large groups when shots were fired into a vehicle. One passenger was struck and taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Two people were taken into custody at the scene, but were later released. There's no word on any other suspects or arrests. Two people are facing impaired driving charges after a head-on crash in Petawawa over the weekend. The collision happened around 9 p.m. Saturday on Town Centre Boulevard. According to Ontario Provincial Police, both drivers had a blood alcohol concentration above the legal limit. The 54-year-old man from Petawawa and a 33-year-old woman from Ottawa both received 90-day license suspensions, and their vehicles were impounded for 1 week. Ontario Premier Doug Ford and his Alberta counterpart Danielle Smith unveiling a proposed route for a new crude oil pipeline between their two provinces today. The leaders are pitching the project as a way to create jobs while also strengthening Canada's energy security. But there are questions about its feasibility. Here's CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris.
It's a new vision to move oil 3,300 kilometers across multiple provinces. The premiers of Alberta and Ontario are calling it the Northern Shield Energy Corridor, a pipeline.
Built using Canadian steel by Canadian workers that will bring oil from Hardisty, Alberta, to new and expanded refineries in Sarnia, Ontario.
The hope is to make Canada more energy independent.
To make sure we are never beholden to the whims of the American administration of the day.
Moving some 500,000 barrels a day through the West East Pipeline, growing up to 800,000.
There is also an opportunity to eventually use this corridor to reach the Atlantic Ocean, which would allow Alberta to provide reliable energy to our nation's European allies.
A feasibility study of this proposal was launched in the fall. So far, it has buy-in of Saskatchewan's leader, but not Ontario's neighbor, Premier Wab Kinew.
He has to consult a little more with his folks in Manitoba, but we'll work something out.
Doug Ford says he'd rather have a private firm finance the project, but he's open to using public dollars.
I think it's a great investment, no matter if it's the government that will get a good ROI over a certain period of time.
A former oil industry player sees red flags on cost and demand.
This pipeline has a very low probability of success. There are so many challenges with what was announced today that, I wouldn't put a lot of faith that this is going to happen anytime soon.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
Well, now to the latest on the FIFA World Cup. A huge game today, and Spain is moving on to the quarterfinals after defeating Portugal this afternoon.
Ferran Torres, we might not need extra time. It's brilliantly finished by the versatile Mikel Merino.
A goal in the 90th minute sending Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo home here in Ottawa. Lower Town in the Byward Market was packed with fans from Spain.
With all the community, make sure we're all the Spanish together and, make it like a big party we always do.
Lower Town is the official headquarters for Spanish fans. Well, Spain's opponent will be decided tonight when Belgium and the United States face off in the round of 16. But there is controversy surrounding that match after a stunning decision by FIFA to let a U.S. star play, overruling his red card suspension after a direct phone call from President Trump. Here's CTV's Joy Melvin.
So, yeah, I did. I spoke to Johnny.
President Donald Trump confirming he made that controversial call, asking his friend FIFA's President Gianni Infantino to review the red card suspension of America's hottest player, Folarin Balogun. Trump called the referee's decision horrible and, quote, a little bit suspect, even calling on reporters to check the referee's past.
I asked for a review because I didn't think it was a foul. And, you know, again, I'm good at this stuff. I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was two great athletes that crashed into each other.
FIFA's highly unusual reversal overturns the red card suspension, and the Belgians are furious. Their coach thought it was an April Fool's joke.
It's a bad decision. Not good for the sport.
And Europe's governing soccer body said FIFA had crossed a red line.
It is remarkable that the president has entered the conversation. And I think that's the thing. And you'd be very concerned about the slippery slope. King Charles, does he want to weigh in on last night's red card for an English player?
So will the appearance of political influence sully the beautiful game? Here's what World Cup fans had to say.
It's just the reversal is a little weird and the timing's a little strange.
Definitely think that Trump played a trump card. I'd be really annoyed if I was a Belgium fan. It's good for the USA though.
And today, FIFA dismissed an appeal by the Belgians, clearing the way for America's star striker to play against Belgium in that big match tonight. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
And Canada's men's national soccer team returned home last night following their historic World Cup run.
We're going to look back on this 6 weeks fondly and just remember, you know, what we did as a nation and what we did as players and how we helped grow the game of soccer in Canada, which was our goal that we set out to do.
So the support, the love, the liveliness in every city was unbelievable for all of us.
Hopefully with the momentum that we brought it from this tournament, we can continue to push on and push forward and, you know, try to go even further in the next one. And hopefully we inspire the generation of younger Canadian kids to come help us do that.
Players and staff spoke following their arrival at Pearson Airport. The team lost 3-0 to Morocco in the round of 16 and became the first host nation eliminated from the tournament by just a few hours. However, that does represent Canada's best ever finish at the World Cup, as the country had previously never made it out of the group stage. Well, a programming note, we will have live FIFA World Cup coverage tomorrow on CTV. As a result, CTV News at 5 will not be broadcast. CTV News at 6 will be on right after the Switzerland-Colombia match. And you can always keep up to date with us at ctvnewsottawa.ca and on the CTV News app.
That's the advantage of that, because then, but the advantage is you don't get them later on in the season. So we're basically done picking about July.
Still ahead, a berry bumper crop thanks to all the rain and humid weather. Summer 2026 may be one for farmers to remember. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Again, with all this sunshine, a reminder to protect yourself, especially tomorrow where the UV is expected to reach 8. So tips to protect yourself from the sun: stay hydrated, seek some shade, wear a hat, also apply sunscreen regularly. Now, here's a look at what we could expect for tomorrow's temperatures. Again, 19 degrees to start off in the morning, feeling already like 25. Sunshine, not much in terms of cloud cover. 31 with that humidex value. Will likely feel like that by the time noon rolls around and continue into the evening. And a reminder, minimize time outdoors between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. when the sun's rays are strongest. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam. It's 28 degrees right now, downtown Ottawa.
Ottawa is always on the move.
We're a big city
with a laid-back vibe,
where foodies love their sweets
and markets bursting with flavor,
wrapped up in waterways
and hot summer days.
This is a city where culture is on display
and the future
meets the past,
where people come together,
always proud,
often loud,
and positively the best place to live.
We move with you, Ottawa.
Well, taking a look at the roads on this Monday evening. We're into the holiday season, which is going to cut down on a little bit of the traffic, but we're also seeing public servants back in the office 4 days a week. So maybe some of the usual slowdowns out there on the Queensway. Well, our 2 seasons of extreme weather, a rain-soaked spring and a steamy and stormy early summer, have had an added benefit: good growing conditions for berries. Local farmers are enjoying a strong season, and as CTV's Camille Wilson reports, it may continue into the fall.
For mother and daughter Lena and Laura Facetto, coming to Rideau Pines Farm to pick your own berries is a family tradition for generations.
We've been picking berries since you're 39 years old, so we're about 38 years that we've been coming here. Like I was saying, I was carrying her that way, and then we have my son who is 4 years older than her. They used to fill their tummies, and then we go there and we say, hope they don't weigh you. It's always been an experience.
Now Laura is bringing her 3 children to pick raspberries as the season gets underway.
Sometimes they don't last in the fridge before we get to make something because the kids eat them too quickly.
We're starting now.
John Vandenberg, co-founder of Rideau Pines Farm, says it's been hotter than usual and they got the right amount of rain.
We need about an inch a week on a steady basis if you want the good growing conditions.
This year is better than last year. Even if the weather doesn't cooperate, there are other ways to keep their crop maintained.
We have an irrigation system, so we have to augment it several. We've already done it before because it was dry before we had that last rain. So we had to do some irrigation.
The farm also grows a kind of strawberry called everbearing to yield berries that mature after the hottest days of summer.
That's the advantage of that, because then, but the advantage is you don't get them later on in the season. So we're basically done picking about July. Well, other strawberry farmers have the late summer varieties, but then our variety comes back in late August till frost.
Look at that. But for the Facettos, it's more of the experience than going home with a full basket.
My husband went ahead and the kids just running after them like, no, 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 just seeing that freeness, like, you know, it's amazing. It's an amazing experience.
It's wonderful, and to experience it with my parents, seeing the joy they get watching them pick berries like we used to do. So it's a great family outing for us.
Camille Wilson, CTV News.
One for the basket and one for me, right? The only way to do it. And after last week's storms and extremely humid weather that we saw, we were seeing conditions improve for the first full week of July. Just a gorgeous start to the work week in the capital. The sun shining over Britannia Beach today. Many people taking advantage of the weather, sailing and fishing. Nice to have the day off, be able to do some of those things. As we go back to Jackie with a full look at the forecast and what's ahead this week, Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Yeah, we are enjoying the patio out here in the sunshine and a bit of a breeze to keep us nice and cool as we continue another sunny day in the capital. Now, taking a look at conditions right now it is 28 degrees. We hit our daytime high. A reminder that sun expected to go down around 8:53 this evening. Winds about 20 kilometers coming from the east. Let's look at our friends at the east right now. Temperatures are 21 to 23 degrees. Again, lots of sunshine in store. St. John's, Newfoundland, though, rain moving through, but you could see much of the country is under a lot of that summer-like conditions. Sunshine, temperatures in the high 20s. So here in Quebec, or the Quebec area, as well as Ontario, about 26, 27 degrees. No precipitation in sight. Let's look out west to our friends in Winnipeg, where a mix of sun and cloud at 25 degrees is the current temperature. Regina, Saskatoon on 23 and sunshine. Vancouver has a mix of sun and cloud, 21 degrees. And even in Whitehorse, where last week temperatures got down to about 5 degrees, four highs, but right now it's sitting around 16 degrees. Taking a look now at tonight's lows back here in Ottawa and in the region, around 16 degrees for the overnight. Clear skies for most of eastern Ontario, but look at Trenton, Kingston, and Brockville. There is a chance it could be much cloudier moving through. Tomorrow, though, a different story as we look at our daytime highs. Not only will it be closer to about 29, 30 degrees, we are anticipating lots of sunshine in store for all of our Tuesday. 36, though, with those humidex values, so it will feel quite warm, slightly warmer than today because we are not getting much in terms of wind. So we do feel a little breeze right now, but winds are going to be much calmer for tomorrow. Here's a closer look at conditions starting with this evening. So again, we did mention those mainly cloudy skies along the seaway. This will clear for tomorrow morning as we get into Tuesday. And yes, lots of sunshine. A reminder to wear sunscreen regularly. Avoid the sun if it is getting too hot between 10 and 4 p.m. So try to find the sunshade, get some relief from those hot, sunny conditions. So again, we're going to get mainly sunny skies for the next few days. Now, here's a look at our 7-day forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. So sunshine for Tuesday, and I know it says that there is a chance of showers for Wednesday. It'll likely be in the late afternoon that we are going to see the clouds start rolling in, and perhaps in the early part of the evening, a slight chance we could see showers. 30 degrees, the anticipated daytime high, so the humidity definitely sticking around. Thursday, though, is we will likely see the greatest chance for some showers rolling in. 29, the anticipated daytime high. Friday, 27 degrees. And the good news is by the time Saturday rolls around, early indicators show that we are going to see the return of sunshine for our weekend. So we have a few days to really enjoy this hot summer-like weather, which we have been craving and looking for quite some time. Patricia.
This is July. It is here, and we will enjoy it. Jackie, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Canada has selected TKMS as the preferred supplier for Canada's patrol submarine project.
Coming up, Prime Minister Mark Carney announces who Canada has selected to build a new submarine fleet.
CTV News community and weather anchor Jackie Perez. Weeknights.
After a months-long competition, Canada has selected a German company to build the country's new submarine fleet, a bid worth billions of dollars that could create thousands of jobs. The announcement comes just ahead of this week's NATO summit. CTV Ottawa Bureau Chief Graham Richardson reports.
In the end, Prime Minister Mark Carney made it clear the German bid's connection to NATO may have been the key difference.
Canada has selected TKMS as the preferred supplier for Canada's patrol submarine project.
This is a massive game changer for the Navy and Canada. Right now, one of Canada's aging 4 subs is operational. The TKMS subs are still years away. Officials say 4 of them will be delivered to Canada by 2034. Carney says the sub purchase has already been factored in to Canada's fiscal outlook.
By design, this process will have far and away the greatest economic impact of any defense investment right across Canada. This was a difficult, close decision between 2 highly qualified suppliers.
Carney also said the connection to NATO and the operability in the Arctic tilted Canada to TKMS and away from the South Koreans.
The submarine is proven and capable. It's widely used by our allies.
And these subs are said to be very stealthy, the ability to wait and patiently be able to have the surveillance of the area so that if the Russians try to make the breakthrough, they will be surprised by the Canadian presence.
Canada shortlisted this project less than a year ago. That's an incredibly fast pace for any country, unheard of in Canada until today. And that is the message Mark Carney will take to Turkey and NATO in the next couple of days. Canada has changed because the world has changed. Graham Richardson, CTV News, Halifax.
Now, some other stories you need to know right now. Ottawa's Ronald McDonald House has expanded, more than doubling its capacity.
We've operated with a really long wait list, and we've had to turn away families. And now that we've expanded from 14 to 36 suites, we have room for everyone, and we've been able to eliminate our wait list.
Ronald McDonald House offers a place for families to stay while a child is receiving critical medical care that would normally require constant trips to and from the hospital. The expansion means they can now accommodate an estimated 1,300 families each year.
Let's go!
Golfers were teeing off for a cause today. This is the 2nd annual CHEO Charity Classic at the Royal Ottawa Golf Club. The goal is to raise $1 million over 3 years to support CHEO's transformation of pediatric care through the Kids These Days redevelopment. Well, as astronaut Jeremy Hansen is leaving the Canadian Space Agency after his historic mission around the moon and back in April. The agency says Hansen will be pursuing new professional opportunities beginning in September, but he will continue to serve as a reservist with the Royal Canadian Air Force. Hanson's work on the Artemis II mission united Canadians and showcased Canada's role in space exploration on a worldwide stage.
And she will touch in a new world record!
Toronto swimmer Summer McIntosh has set another record in the pool. The 19-year-old finished the 200-meter butterfly in 2 minutes, 1.65 seconds at the Canadian trials last night. That's nearly 0.2 of a second faster than the previous record, which was set in 2009. McIntosh's mother, Jill, was also an Olympic swimmer and previously set the record for the 200-meter butterfly in the same pool decades earlier.
Back heel for Friedland. Friedland, will she take it on? She will! Johanna Friedland! And
another great game for the Ottawa Rapid FC, who are currently in first place in the Northern Super League. They beat Calgary's Wild FC 3-1 at TD Place yesterday afternoon. Ottawa's next game is on the road in Toronto on Saturday.
A lot of damage that it's going to do to communities, to the land.
Like a high-speed train going from one end of the province to Quebec would be very useful.
Coming up, Canadians split on whether the federal government should build a high-speed rail line. We'll have more on the debate taking place across Eastern Ontario.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Boal. Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, Europe remains a popular vacation spot for many Canadians this summer, with Portugal, Spain, Italy, and France at the top of the list. When you travel, you can book guided tours, but what happens if a company cancels your tour at the last minute? Here's CTV's Pat Foran.
It was devastating for me.
Janet Somali of Mississauga was excited to fulfill a lifelong dream by traveling to Switzerland. She and her husband booked a guided tour over a year ago that was to leave in May.
I had already bought my euro money and my Swiss francs in preparation for the trip.
But 1 month before the trip, they got a notice from the travel company that said the tour had been canceled due to a lack of interest.
We got notification that the land tour was canceled because there was not enough sales.
The travel group said it would refund the cost of the tour, but Somali says she also paid for 2 round-trip tickets to Paris for $1,800. She felt she deserved a refund for those, too.
And I can understand if cancellations are due to, say, natural disasters or things of that sort, but not because there's not enough sales.
She booked with Trip to Go. A spokesperson told CTV News cancellations due to insufficient participation can occur when minimum operating requirements are not met. In line with our policies, affected travelers were offered either a full refund for the land tour package or a free rescheduled departure date.
It's different depending on whether it's a packaged tour or individually purchased.
The Travel Industry Council of Ontario, TICO, says if you book a package deal with a flight included with a tour, then you should get a full refund. But when you book a flight separately from a tour, you usually won't get your money back. It's all about the terms and conditions.
It's really important to look at the cancellation fees, rebooking fees.
Somali says she didn't feel comfortable flying to Europe without a planned itinerary, so she and her husband stayed home, and they were not refunded the $1,800 for the tickets. Pat Foran, CTV News.
There's an emerging divide over the federal government's proposed high-speed rail project, which would connect a number of major cities between Quebec City and Toronto, including Ottawa and possibly Kingston. CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports.
In rural Ontario, a fierce debate has been ignited.
He's our guardian dog.
Farmers concerned about what the Alto high-speed rail project could mean for them.
We're very concerned that we're not being taken into account by Alto The tone of what has been communicated so far has been concerning.
Glenn McKenzie's family farm is within a proposed rail corridor.
So we have a mile-long grazing corridor. We practice rotational intensive grazing. The cattle are on a small strip of land, and we keep moving them down until they reach the end. If they went through this strip of land, it would be over for us.
A new survey from Nanos Research for CTV News shows the country is divided over the major multi-billion-dollar project. 38%, or 4 in 10, believe it should be a high priority for the government, while the same feel it should be a low priority.
Now, support for the project varies depending on where you are. Here in Kingston, where the government recently announced a proposed stop, many welcome it.
Like a high-speed train going from one end of the province to Quebec would be very useful.
That sounds great to me.
The amount of damage that it's going to do to communities, to the land, to the environment, is just overwhelming.
A reliable high-speed train would be a great kind of thing.
Kingston's mayor says if the project does go ahead, they want to see Kingston included.
We need better rail service in Kingston. We're a rail-oriented community. We're used to taking the train, and I hear from people all the time about how there needs to be better options.
A route is not yet finalized. Alto has only publicly shared this proposed corridor. The company has completed a first round of public consultation and has scheduled more for the fall. But back on the McKenzie farm, that uncertainty is part of the frustration.
That's right. I mean, if it's not us, it's somebody else.
Jeremy Sharon, CTV News.
It's like losing someone in your family.
It's the last note for Steve's Music, the store's final location set to close after decades in business.
Tonight, Canada's multi-billion-dollar submarine deal.
We will now enter into negotiations to procure up to 12 submarines.
Who Ottawa chose for the contract and what it means ahead of the NATO summit. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Boal.
Feels amazing. I mean, it's just great. My horse jumped amazing. I went double clear. It's what I was looking for. I'm very happy. I'm proud of him, proud of myself.
That's 29-year-old Stephanie Barassa, who won a top prize in the show jumping competition at the Ottawa Equestrian Tournaments over the weekend. The event attracts more than 700 horses and riders. It runs until July 12th at Wesley Clover Parks. One of Montreal's best-known music stores is closing. For more than 60 years, Steve's Music was the place to go for musicians. But after announcing the closure of its stores here in Ottawa and Toronto earlier this year, the final location is set to shut down. Here's CTV's Anastasia Dextrine.
For more than 60 years, these walls have echoed with the sounds of chords and riffs. And now the silence is setting in.
It's like losing someone in your family. It's, for the second or third time, I guess that's my first being when our founder, my father, passed away.
Michael Kerman says he took over Steve's Music Store in 2012 after his father died. He's seen it grow as a gathering place for musicians since it was founded in 1965. And he says the stories are too many to count.
ZZ Top were playing. Came out with a stack, like probably the size of a phone book, if anyone remembers what a phone book is, of pictures, and just sat down and was like, we got about an hour and a half before we have to hit the road. Just tell them everyone we're here.
While the memories of surprise signings will live on, Kerman says the move to close is a sign of the times. He says factors like rising costs and instrument sales shifting online have made it difficult to profit. The store announced the closure of its other Quebec and Ontario locations in February. And now in the final days of the last remaining store, the reality is weighing just as heavily on musicians.
There was one story, I was playing a show in Montreal and I left a piece of my gear at home. I just went to Steve's and they gave it to me and then I went and returned and they're just very musician friendly and they're always trying to help us. So we were hoping that they would have some of the stuff from the Toronto place because that closed.
I mean, it's nice to have an independent or semi-independent, music store have access to that. And it's so sad that this is closed now.
Kerman says the store's instruments will be auctioned off in the coming weeks, and those interested can find information on their website.
We want everything to have a nice home. Again, they're meant to be played. They're not meant to be, just sitting here.
And as the store plays its final note, Kerman hopes the legacy will help to carry on the tune. Anastasia Dextrine, CTV News.
Coming up, a Canadian singer-songwriter set to perform at an Ottawa Blackjacks halftime show. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Patricia. Taking a look at the next 3 days, yeah, lots of sunshine in store for our Tuesday, but by Wednesday in the early evening, we could see some showers rolling in, more cloud cover for sure. And by Thursday, that's the greatest chance we could see the return of precipitation. Temperatures, though, staying between 29 and 30 degrees. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where right now it's 28 degrees in downtown Ottawa.
You're watching CTV News with Patricia Boal.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Take your weekend path. We've got the Bronco Sport for it.
Tomorrow on Your Morning Ottawa, Cirque du Soleil returns to the capital, and we get a nice preview with just some of the cast. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave. Everything starts at 6.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV on your Monday night. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Match Game, and American Ninja Warrior. And here's a recap of the top stories we are following right now.
I feel like Mark Sutcliffe does not have a clue what's going on here.
Frustrated residents looking for support after last week's record rainstorm flooded thousands of basements across Ottawa. The city says it is offering financial compensation and extra garbage pickup.
Super discouraging, super frustrating. Nobody's listening.
Federal public servants are now required to be in the office at least 4 days a week, but many say there isn't enough space, while the unions are pushing back against the measure.
When a school board makes a decision to stop engaging with the local LGBTQ community, that erodes trust.
Ottawa's largest school board says it will not participate in the Capital Pride Parade this year, saying it falls outside of the school calendar, despite the event always being held in August. One final check on the weather right now. Lovely July week that is unfolding for us, Jackie.
Are you liking the summer heat?
I am loving
Patricia?
it. I am loving it. It was a little much last week, I think. This is perfect right now.
This is perfect.
Yeah.
We'll have another perfect day for tomorrow. It's going to start with it tomorrow morning. Look at this. Sunny conditions. Yes, parts of the seaway, you might see a little bit of cloud cover, but that is going to be clearing. So most of Eastern Ontario, pretty much all of Eastern Ontario, will be sunny. 19 to start things off, and we've got calm easterly winds moving in. And tomorrow's a daytime high, 29 degrees. Humidex values will be feeling more like 35. And a reminder that the UV index is set for 8, or also known as very high. So make sure you're lathering the sunscreen regularly. You are trying to find shade, staying hydrated, and getting breaks from the sunshine. Now, Wednesday, there will be more cloud cover that will likely be closer to the late afternoon, early evening. Slight chance that we could see some showers rolling in, not more than 5 millimeters. But again, this could change. Playing it safe right now. 30 degrees, the anticipated daytime high. Those overnight lows, though, you can tell the humidity will be sticking around, because the overnight Wednesday into Thursday is going to be 20 degrees. The daytime high will be 29, and this Thursday will be the greatest chance for some rain moving through. So Tuesday, lots of sunshine. It will likely not be until Saturday, Patricia, that we will see more sunshine. So take advantage of tomorrow.
It's applying the sunscreen liberally, as you say, also evenly. I don't know what it is with that first big sun of the year that you're kind of like, that should do it. And then you have red stripes, and it's a good look. It's a really good look. We want to check in and see what our team is working on for tonight. Austin Lee is here at the desk with any sun damage nicely covered up by the jacket.
Yeah, exactly. Not yet. We'll see.
That's good.
But thanks for that, Patricia. We're looking forward to tonight. We have some good news out of the city's West End. Canada Day celebrations in Barhaven. They were at risk of coming to an end. That's no longer the case, apparently. 5 people have stepped forward to keep those Canada Day festivities alive and well in Barrhaven. This comes after Barrhaven Canada Incorporated expressed doubt that the event could continue for future years because none of its executive directors or committee members said that they will be returning to lead that event. Again, some positive developments there. Of course, you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca and join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Yeah, Daryl Bartross said he put that out there, that it was done, and a lot of people came forward and said we don't want to lose this in Barrhaven, so huge community, and hopefully no more cancellations of Canada Day celebrations like they saw last week was a tough one, for sure. All right, finally for us tonight, there will be a special guest at an Ottawa Blackjacks game this month. Canadian singer-songwriter Tyler Shaw will headline the halftime show during Fan Appreciation Night on July 22nd. The Blackjacks will be hosting the Scarborough Shooting Stars that night. In addition to the musical performances, there will also be giveaways and special in-game experiences. So a fun night is the time to see them at home is kind of running out.
Yeah.
You guessed this, Jackie. You thought it was going to be Tyler Shaw.
I know. The owners and presidents were like, who do you think it's going to be? I'm like, Tyler Shaw's in town.
That's a big name. It's a good name.